Along the restless stretch of the Atlantic Ocean, where the waves breathe against the shores of Accra with an ancient rhythm, a new chapter is being written, slowly, deliberately, and with a vision grander than anything the city has attempted in decades. This chapter is called the Accra Marine Drive Project. It is more than a construction effort, more than an urban redevelopment plan. It is a story of heritage, ambition, conflict, hope, and the reimagining of a coastline that has carried the soul of Accra for generations. The coastline selected for the Marine Drive is no ordinary place. It is a 241-acre stretch reaching from the historic Osu Castle to the arts-filled district around the Center for National Culture and toward the rhythmic heart of Gamashi. For centuries, this corridor has been alive with motion. Fishermen setting out at dawn with their canoes shimmering under the first light, craftsmen shaping wood and brass into symbols of Ghanaian pride, drummers filling the atmosphere with the heartbeat of the land, traders calling out their offers as tourists wander between stalls. Every inch of this coastline has a story. Every corner carries echoes of centuries past. To redesign such a place is not a small undertaking. It requires more than engineering. It demands emotional sensitivity and cultural respect. The Marine Drive project dares to take this space, shaped by tradition and memory, and transform it into a world-class tourism and cultural enclave, one that stands confidently among the great waterfronts of the world. The vision crafted by Sir David Adjaye and his team imagines a coastline where modern architecture blends seamlessly with Ghanaian identity, where the past is not erased but elevated, and where the future of Accra is reflected in light, movement, culture, and commerce. According to the master plan, the new coastline will include sweeping public parks, wide pedestrian promenades, striking hotels, a cultural and performance center, curated retail spaces, leisure zones, and new venues that will give Ghana's creative industry the global stage it deserves. A monumental park honoring Ghana's founding fathers will anchor one side of the project, while the grounds surrounding Osu Castle will be transformed into a meaningful public space that reconnects the landmark with the city it once ruled over. From end to end, the Marine Drive is designed to be not just a physical transformation, but a cultural statement. But behind every grand dream lies complexity. From the moment implementation began, the coastline became a crossroads of emotions. Many people who lived or worked around the arts center and the coastline found themselves facing relocation. These were not strangers to the land. They were artisans who had carved their lives into it for decades. Some saw relocation as a painful break from tradition. Others saw it as a path to something new, an opportunity for their craft to be showcased in more dignified spaces. Yet the tension between progress and displacement was real. For many, the coastline was not merely a place. It was identity, community, and survival. The project also faced challenges beyond the human aspect. Financial hurdles emerged. Reports surfaced of misallocated funding. There were delays, bureaucratic struggles, and political transitions that demanded fresh approvals and renewed commitment. Some critics feared the Marine Drive was becoming another ambitious idea vulnerable to stagnation. Others believed it was too important, too symbolic, too transformative to ever be abandoned. Through all the noise, the ocean remained indifferent, continuing its eternal dialogue with the shore as decisions unfolded behind closed doors. Despite the complications, the Marine Drive project inched forward. Government officials revisited the site repeatedly to assess progress. Parliamentary committees engaged with planners. Architectural teams refined their designs to preserve cultural sensitivities. The private sector expressed interest in future phases. The coastline began to shift. Fences rose, structures were cleared, land was surveyed, and the groundwork for an iconic public space gradually took shape. The transformation was slow, but its momentum became undeniable. Urban development of this scale demands patience. Before the skyline can change, the foundation must be strong. The first phase of the Marine Drive focuses on the unseen but crucial elements. Roads restructured to align with the new master plan, underground drainage systems designed to withstand coastal rains, modern lighting that will give the future promenade a warm glow at night, telecommunications infrastructure ready to support business, entertainment, and tourism. These are the silent pillars upon which the visible beauty will eventually stand. If the Marine Drive project reaches its full potential, Accra's waterfront will become a magnet not only for tourists, but for opportunity. The economic impact could be immense. Thousands of jobs could be created, directly through construction and indirectly through hospitality, retail, entertainment, cultural exhibitions, event management, and creative arts. The city's tourism image would shift. Accra would no longer be admired only for its history, markets, food, music, and people. It would also become known for its stunning waterfront experience, a place where locals and visitors come to breathe, explore, celebrate, and feel the energy of a modern African capital. But the Marine Drive is not just an economic project. It is, at its heart, a cultural and emotional one. It asks, how do you modernize without erasing? How do you build forward without leaving your people behind? How do you create a global attraction while staying true to the heritage that makes Accra unique? These questions lie at the core of the project's narrative, and the answers lie in how carefully the coastline's history is woven into its future. Osu Castle, once a seat of colonial power, will no longer sit as a distant relic, but as an active part of the coastline's identity. The Arts Center, though relocated, will continue to shape Ghana's creative market in a more organized space. Traditional communities will see their heritage highlighted through architectural features, cultural installations, and public art that celebrates the Ga people and the history of the land. Imagine the future coastline at sunset. The promenade alive with footsteps, families strolling peacefully, couples enjoying the ocean breeze, performers filling the evening with music. Imagine food vendors in clean, well-designed kiosks serving fresh Ghanaian dishes. Imagine tourists capturing photos of striking sculptures or sitting on benches overlooking waves glowing beneath streetlights. Imagine festivals, concerts, and cultural shows unfolding on outdoor stages built specifically for them. Imagine children playing in green parks where monuments tell the story of Ghana's independence. All of these moments form the heartbeat of what the Marine Drive hopes to create. As Accra evolves, its coastline evolves with it. This project, still in progress, carries the hopes of many people and the doubts of others. It reflects the contradictions of development, the beauty of progress, and the pain of transition. Yet through all the challenges, the idea remains powerful, that Ghana deserves a waterfront worthy of its legacy and its future. The Atlantic Ocean will continue its eternal presence, rising and falling as it has for thousands of years. But the coastline alongside it is preparing for a rebirth, one defined by architecture, culture, community, and a renewed sense of pride. The Marine Drive project is more than a development. It is a statement that Accra is stepping boldly into the future, ready to stand among the great coastal cities of the world, while carrying the memory of those who shaped it. Wave by wave, stone by stone, decision by decision, the transformation continues. And someday, when the final structure stands tall and the promenade opens to the world, the people of Ghana will look upon the reborn coastline and see not just buildings, but a legacy, one crafted with ambition, resilience, and the belief that the story of Accra is still being written. Yet, even with all that has been imagined, the story of the Marine Drive is still unfolding. Projects of this magnitude do not simply appear, they evolve. They are shaped by negotiations, by changing political climates, by financial decisions, by community reactions, and by the unpredictable rhythm of national development. And for the people of Accra, this project has been both a promise and a question. A promise of a new identity for the city, and a question of when that identity will finally become reality. In the years since the plan was unveiled, expectations have risen and fallen like the waves themselves. Announcements are made, committees are inaugurated, timelines are revised, and new phases are introduced. Governments come and go, each renewing its commitment to see the coastline transformed. But as the public watches, they also wait. Wait for visible change, wait for cranes to rise, wait for the moment when the vision shifts from drawings on paper to steel and concrete on the ground. Still, something profound is happening beneath the surface. The conversations around the Marine Drive have pushed Ghanaians to ask important questions about public spaces and national pride. Why should Accra, a capital city rich in culture and history, lack the kind of iconic waterfront promenade seen in cities like Cape Town, Dubai, Miami, or Barcelona? Why should Ghana, a nation known for its creativity, hospitality, and natural beauty, settle for a coastline that does not reflect its spirit? These questions have started to shape the public imagination, making the demand for transformation stronger than ever before. One of the most compelling parts of the Marine Drive vision is its integration of Ghana's heritage. This is not a project that seeks to build generic structures with no cultural meaning. Instead, the architects propose buildings that draw from traditional forms, sweeping lines inspired by Ghanaian textiles, materials that reflect local craftsmanship, and spaces designed to evoke communal gathering, storytelling, and performance. The new waterfront is imagined as a living cultural tapestry where old and new coexist harmoniously. For example, the proposed cultural village within the project aims to showcase the richness of Ghana's diverse ethnic groups. It will feature artisanal workshops, performance spaces, culinary hubs, and galleries, all designed to give both visitors and locals a deeper understanding of the country's identity. Imagine a tourist walking through a modern structure built with the elegance of contemporary design, only to step into a courtyard where drummers perform traditional rhythms, where sculptors carve figures from wood, and where dancers reenact stories passed down for generations. This is the experience the Marine Drive hopes to create: immersive, authentic, and unforgettable. Another ambitious component of the project is the planned convention center. Designed to be world class, this venue has the potential to position Accra as a leading destination for international conferences, summits, and exhibitions. The economic impact of such a facility could ripple far beyond the coastline. Hotels in the city would fill, restaurants would thrive, local artisans would gain exposure to global visitors. Young people trained in hospitality, event management, and creative arts would find new opportunities. This single structure could become a catalyst for a new era of economic vibrancy. And then there is the green space, the heart of the promenade. In a rapidly urbanizing city like Accra, public parks are precious. Too often, development replaces nature, leaving the city with limited areas for recreation and relaxation. The Marine Drive reverses this trend by carving out expansive green zones where locals can breathe, unwind, and connect. These parks will not be empty open fields. They will be carefully curated landscapes featuring walking trails, shaded sitting areas, sculptures, water features, and plants native to the Ghanaian environment. They will host festivals, cultural events, community gatherings, and daily moments of peace for thousands of people. Even the coastline itself is undergoing rethinking. Climate experts and engineers have emphasized the need for resilient coastal structures, breakwaters, flood-resistant foundations, smart drainage systems, and materials that withstand the corrosive effects of salt air. The Marine Drive, if built carefully, could become a model for how West African coastal cities adapt to the challenges of climate change. The Atlantic has always been both a companion and a threat, giving beauty but demanding respect. The new design acknowledges this relationship by building strength into the foundation of the project. But perhaps the most emotional part of the Marine Drive story lies in the hope it carries for the creative community. For years, Ghana's artists, musicians, filmmakers, and performers have called for bigger platforms, better facilities, and a more supportive environment. The coastline, once home to the decentralized and informal arts center, will be transformed into a structured creative hub that celebrates their work. Imagine film screenings under the open sky near the ocean, art exhibitions illuminated against the night, and open-air concerts where the sound of drums merges with the crashing of waves. Imagine young creatives displaying their work in spaces that reflect their talent, not limit it. The Marine Drive project envisions this future, a future where Accra's creative energy becomes globally recognized, not just locally admired. It seeks to create a place where culture is not tucked away but boldly displayed, a place where tourists come not only for leisure but to experience Ghanaian authenticity, a place where children see possibilities and dream bigger because they are surrounded by spaces that inspire them. Of course, the journey to such a future is not without resistance. Some communities fear that modernization will push their traditions aside. Some residents worry about affordability and whether locals will still have access to the new spaces. Others are concerned about the environmental impact. These concerns are valid and necessary. They ensure that development is not careless or one sided. They shape the conversation, forcing planners to rethink, redesign, and re engage. But what remains undeniable is that Accra is changing, and change, while uncomfortable, often brings renewal. Every great city has a defining moment, a period when it chooses to reinvent itself. For Accra, the Marine Drive represents that moment. It is the city's declaration that it will no longer stand on the sidelines of global urban excellence. Instead, it is ready to step forward, embrace innovation, and reimagine its relationship with the sea that has shaped its history. Someday soon, when the project finally reaches its most visible phases, the skyline will start to shift. New buildings will rise where old structures once stood. Streets will shine with modern lighting. Public art will appear, statues of leaders, symbols of independence, and creative installations that tell the story of Ghana's resilience. Locals who walk along the promenade will feel a sense of renewal, as if the coastline has opened its arms to welcome them into a new era. And when the transformation is complete, the coastline will no longer be a forgotten edge of the city. It will be a destination, a landmark, a symbol of national ambition, a place where the rhythms of modern Ghana meet the echoes of its heritage. This is the promise of the Marine Drive project, a promise that Accra will rise, not just upward, but outward, toward the waves, toward possibility, toward a future where the world looks at the Ghanaian coastline and sees excellence, culture, beauty, and hope woven into one breathtaking landscape.
We talk on the phone every night. Love to hear your voice, not sleeping well. And I know that you're right, but you should know it. You've been gone for way too long now. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I can lay down beside you, I would. Even if you're gone, I won't forget you. You're all I know, what I need, and that ain't changing. And even if you're gone, I will remember. You're all I know, what I need, and that ain't changing. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I could lay down beside you, I would. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I could lay down beside you, I would. Don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I could lay down beside you, I would. We talk on the phone every night. Love to hear your voice, not sleeping well. And I know that you're right, but you should know it. You've been gone for way too long now. down beside you. I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I